What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Play Action Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 2. We are glad to be back. Vinny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Aidan. We had a great week of football, a lot to talk about. We hope, everyone at home had a great week, had a chance to relax, get a Thursday night, Sunday, Monday, just good games all across the weekend.
Hopefully the fantasy teams did good. I know both of us 1-0 so far, so can't complain.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, but definitely a lot of interesting things happened. If you want to just jump right into it, we can just talk about the injury updates, which unfortunately there was a lot.
And a lot of key injuries, if that, and I think the biggest one has to be Aaron Rodgers out for the season with a torn Achilles. I mean, that's just what you hate to see.
Yeah,
Everyone was so excited.
Fourth offensive player for the Jets, and their season just went from,
Super Bowl contenders.
Some people are saying Super Bowl contenders to, we don't know what it could be now, but it's definitely not looking as good.
Yeah, it's definitely like you trade for him. The hype is all season. He was thinking about retiring, and he doesn't retire, and then he gets his Achilles torn. That's just, I feel bad for him. I really do.
And the whole Jets organization. Now, they have Zach Wilson stepping up.
Who didn't play horrible, had some bad passes, but we'll get into that later, but not horrible.
Yeah, so they could, could they be looking to trade or sign someone new? Maybe. But, Zach Wilson, he's young. Yeah. He's still, he has potential. He just isn't as, refined.
Yeah, which I think signing Rodgers almost helped him in that way.
That should have definitely helped him in practice and stuff. So if they can, they can improve from last year with how he played, I think they're still in, a decent spot.
Yeah.
And then speaking of torn Achilles, another injury, season-ending injury for the Ravens is J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Out with torn Achilles, I'm pretty sure, as well. So.
He had himself a good game, too, so you just hate to see that.
I know.
When are the NFL stadiums going to go to grass?
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
People are saying that is one of the main things they're credited for. And Dobbins, wasn't he just out didn't he tear his ACL or something either last year or a few years back?
I know he was out for a lot of last year, so that you hate to see it.
Yeah, cannot catch a break there. And then another injury which did look pretty bad on the field was Jacoby Myers. For the Raiders, he took a pretty bad hit, went into concussion protocol, because I was watching the Raiders game, I did see that, but not much been said on that, but fortunately, he walked off, he is okay.
Mm-hmm. So. And then Cooper Kupp is eligible to return in Week 5, so he is probably going to miss a good bit of the season, at least the good first half of the season, but honestly, they still got it done without him, and they had some big rookies, and Tutu Atwell, of all people, come up big for them this week. So, honestly, maybe not having Kupp ain't going to be the worst thing in the world for them, but
if you did draft him first in fantasy, then that is a bummer. Because he wasn't, they weren't, sure on him, at least when we did our draft, 2 weeks before the season started, he was, just questionable at that point, and I guess it's gotten a lot worse, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then speaking of, we have two kind of for fantasy hamstring injuries. Greg DeLuch, my tight end, which I didn't really get a good tight end pick this year.
There's really no good tight ends. I think the top performing tight end this week had 16 points, and it was Hunter Henry or something. Yeah. There's just no good tight ends anymore.
Yeah, Kelsey and Andrews, who he was out. But speaking of Andrews, he is looking good for this week.
All right.
But yeah, DeLuch, said to miss a couple of weeks at least with the hamstring. Then Deontay Johnson left the Steelers game. I forget what quarter, but he's doubtful to return. But he's on your fantasy team. So that is unfortunate there.
Yeah, and another one, Aaron Jones for the Packers is questionable with a hamstring injury. He got a big touchdown on 4th down, and right at the end of the run, he started to grab his hamstring. Looked like it might have just been a cramp, but we'll see how that pans out for him. So
that's true. And then another injury update for the Packers. Christian Watson, still questionable. We don't have much more information on him. But, I mean, Packers still, got it done without him. Had a lot of, good receiving threats.
Yeah.
You probably, watched the game more than me to know about the Packers' depth
did.
chart. But, yeah, him and then Kelsey, still questionable. He's still not 100%, but he was doing some, going through a separate practice.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he can return because the Chiefs may have missed him in the loss on
they
Thursday.
missed him. They definitely missed him, especially with
true.
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, that's a whole separate issue. Yeah, that's
her hands.
Yeah, that was a separate issue. And then lastly, we have Eckler, who is questionable with an ankle injury, but I don't think that's anything massive. So these are just the main ones, that I went through for. I mean, as far as like fantasy wise, who's probably on your team, and then obviously, well, I guess riders. I don't think anyone had riders in our league.
I don't think so.
But we have a 12-man.
He impacts other players like Garrett Wilson will probably.
Yeah, so Garrett Wilson's production will be down. Breece Hall and
theirs will probably be up.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
gonna run it more. So yeah, so we can move on next. We got a new little game, if you want to call it that. It's gonna be guess the stats. So Vinny's gonna be naming off just this one stat line, and then I'm gonna try and guess who I think got this stat line, and you at home can play along too. Try and guess who you think got this stat line.
Yep. So yeah, I definitely threw some tricky ones in there because a lot of similar stats in fantasy. First one you probably will get.
Okay.
It is 120. I don't have the receptions here, but 129 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Okay.
So a big receiver, which there was a fair amount.
Yeah. So first thought for me at least, 2 touchdowns. Not many players got 2 touchdowns. I know Tyreek did, but I know he got way more receiving yards. So that leads me to Brandon Ayuk against the Steelers.
Yeah, that is correct. I was thinking you were probably going to go between him or Jefferson was around there for receiving.
I knew Jefferson didn't get any touchdowns though.
But yeah, I mean Brandon Ayuk, who I had him on my fantasy bench.
Yeah, I mean that game as Steelers fans, such a letdown. I mean,
we were looking forward to seeing Kenny Pickett thrive,
and he
looked bad. I mean,
he picked it up later.
Yeah, I mean Nick Bosa and their D line was definitely pressuring him a lot. Our offensive line didn't look too great.
Yeah,
but still, he just threw a lot of passes just behind the receivers. I mean, more than last year it looked like for the most part.
Yeah, and it probably hurt. I mean, look, the Steelers had a total of 10 rushes total. So you're down the entire game. The defense knows what they're doing. They're going to get some pass rush on you. So that's probably going to impact him a little bit, but still,
I mean,
there's just no reason to be missing.
Yeah, up until like the end of the second quarter, we had like 1 total yard.
Yeah.
So at that point, I just kind of like turned off the game for a bit.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was embarrassing. But on the flip side of things, Brock Purdy. I've been known to be a huge Brock Purdy hater. I did not think he's good, and I mean he played really well against the Steelers.
I mean, saw McCaffrey, had that big run. He played great, but Purdy, he wasn't missing his throws. I mean, T.J. Watt, he had 3 sacks.
Yeah,
he was still getting pressured, but he was calm.
Yeah. And it helped that McCaffrey rushed for 152 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
including that big, he had like 60 some yards. That was a crazy run.
So, yeah.
Disappointing, letdown for the Steelers. Obviously 49ers are a much better team as far as, stacked just with their roster.
Mm-hmm.
But, hopefully we can turn it around this week.
Yeah, we got a big game against the Browns on Monday Night Football.
We're known to, kind of own the Browns, at least when Roethlisberger played.
Yeah.
But this year, it could be different. Browns look good this week.
I'm interested to see how it goes.
All right, and then next one may trip you up.
Right.
It is interesting stat line: 1 target and 0 catches for 0 yards.
Oh, so the only reason you're gonna be putting this on is if it's gonna be like a big name receiver. So
yeah, like it's like someone who like people were.
I'm thinking 1 target for 0 receptions. Oh, who could this even be? I mean, it's going to be one of the big names. It's not going to be Diggs. It's not going to be Tyreek. I actually don't know how this player did, so I'm just going to go with Devontae Adams.
Ooh, I actually don't know his sound, but I know it wasn't this one. But there's two people who I thought you would consider it to be, or at least one who I thought you would consider it to be. I forget who has him in our league, but I'll tell you who it is not. It is not T. Higgins, because he had 8 targets for 0 catches.
I did know he didn't get any catches.
Which that was, I mean, we can just talk about that real quick. The Bengals' performance was shocking, to say the least. I mean, 3-24.
Yeah, Joe Burrow had 82 yards and that's it. I mean, just a horrible game for him. I mean, under 50% completion percentage. I mean, this is the Bengals team that people were saying is going to easily make it to the Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is his first game since that, record-breaking contract, being the highest-paid player, and did not perform. I mean, granted, the O-line was shaky. What's the name? Myles Garrett was,
just dominating.
I don't know how many sacks he had. I don't know how many he had exactly,
let me check.
He had so many just pressures.
He only had 1 sack, but I'm pretty sure, he had so many pressures. At one point, I saw a video of him. He was pretending to do, crossovers like in basketball before he went up to the line.
Yeah, and he was still getting through, so...
Yeah, he's a beast.
We didn't see a lot of it last year, but what's his name? Joe Burrow, they're going to have to step it up this week. Now, granted, I mean, I will say he was coming off an injury. He wasn't practicing as much. He had a calf, something with his calf, so he wasn't practicing as much. It is the first week.
Yeah, but still, you just don't expect that from someone like that.
So Browns, are coming in hot against the Steelers for next week. I forget I think it's in Cleveland.
No, it's at Pittsburgh.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, so
that
should be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. But, I mean, I kind of just spoiled the next one with I had on here, which was 82 passing yards. That was Joe Burrow. But the person with 1 target and 0 catches was Chris Olave.
Wow, was it actually?
Yeah, he was, I mean, drafted pretty high this year. I mean, we were expecting him to get a lot more, touches with Kamara still not back. They have Michael Thomas, and who's...
Are you sure he only had...
Wait. Okay, wait.
Looks like to me he got 8 catches for 112.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check who I put for that, because because the person... I didn't think he did, but I was scrolling through people's teams, and I did see that.
Well, some other things about this Saints-Titans game. I mean, Derek Carr, 305 yards, a lot of passing. Jamal Williams looks like until Kamara's back, did get 45 yards on the ground, but he's probably going to be that leading back with 18 carries, which is a ton. Michael Thomas, 5 catches for 61.
And Michael Thomas stayed healthy.
Yeah.
For a game.
That is big for them. And then for the Titans, Derrick Henry only 15 carries, which is still a lot, but you'd expect more. And Ryan Tannehill, 3 interceptions. Yikes. Just not good at all. D-Hop was their leading receiver, though. So, as you would probably expect from him. But definitely interesting game. And we'll see what Vinny was looking at when...
Yeah, may have had a technical error on that, but I know I was looking at someone with 0 points that surprised me.
It probably was T. Higgins.
Oh, maybe it was...
Oh, it was Goddard.
I don't know why. Yeah, this might have been... Yeah, I guess it was Dallas Goddard, because...
Oh, yes.
I guess I meant to click on him, but...
He did have a very quiet game.
Yeah, which, like we said, a lot of tight ends didn't show up. I mean, I had a last-minute pickup on Isaiah Likely... Just because I didn't trust Deluche, but he ended up getting injured, and Likely just with 1 catch.
Yeah, I mean,
so that was an interesting
Eagles still got the win though, but honestly, 25-20 win for the Eagles against the Patriots, you would expect a lot more than that. Mac Jones had a really good game though, 316 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Could be. I mean, Tom Brady was in the house. So that could have given the Patriots a little bit of a spark. But again, not as much, not much to say there.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on to the next player We have 117 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, along with 4 catches and 47 receiving yards.
I mean, that's
so a pretty big stat line.
That is a pretty big stat line. And so for big-time running back performances, that's got me thinking Eckler. I know Eckler did a lot this week. He was one of the top-performing running backs. So I think if I had to say someone, I think I'm going Eckler for that.
And you would be correct.
Yes.
That was Eckler. I had him on my team this week. I mean, that was just an all-out. That's why people were predicting just like an offensive showing, which we saw a lot last year with both of these teams, especially the Dolphins. I mean,
that was such a good game, and I think the craziest part was the Chargers, who are known to be gunslinging and throwing the ball a bunch. They actually ran the ball a lot, almost 2 100-yard rushers with Joshua Kelly and Austin Eckler. And so, I mean, I feel bad. The Chargers always end up losing games.
I did have the Dolphins winning this last week. I mean, just like their aerial threat. I mean, you had Tyreek Hill, who he just had
11 catches, 215, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he pretty much won you your week.
Yeah, it helped them.
Waddle was quieter. I mean, I don't know his.
78 yards, pretty good.
Yeah, I guess just no touchdowns.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna probably see a lot of this again. Just Tua slinging the ball downfield to Tyreek Hill. I mean,
45 pass attempts is a lot.
Yeah, and over 400 yards. He's probably
466. He's easily number 1.
Yeah, easily number 1.
Yeah, I mean, just that was such a great game. Just back and forth, gunslinging. Yeah, that was just a really good game.
Yeah, and then last guess the stat we can do here, we have a defense.
Is this a total defense?
Just
or a player?
Just like a defense, like fantasy defense. We have 5 sacks, 3 interceptions, 314 yards allowed, and a defensive touchdown.
I mean, that makes me think could be Cowboys. I know they were killing, but that's just got to be the Jets defense, right?
And that is the Jets. I thought you were gonna have that or the Cowboys, which were just 2 huge.
I mean, we can talk about the Cowboys fantasy, for a little bit.
Yeah, fantasy or just in real life, the Cowboys
killed the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants had just no.
Oh my gosh!
Hope.
I turned that game off after the first quarter. It was the Giants just were horrible. I don't know why they left in Daniel Jones for as long as they did. I mean, he was in the game in the 4th quarter when they were down 40-0.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I didn't watch the full thing. I just remember, one of the first, either their first drive or one of the first drives, they made it all the way into the red zone. They were looking good, and then I think they went for it on 4th down and didn't get it, and then they just sucked after that.
Yeah.
And there was a block kick, and then that just kind of set the downhill spiral.
Yeah.
Of everything. But Jets defense
the other New York team just killed it. I mean, I wouldn't say they were amazing the entire game, but
the defense at least.
For not having Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they did pretty good.
Yeah, holding the Bills to, only 16 points.
Helps that Josh Allen was just horrible. I mean, so many bad decisions, 4 turnovers. I mean, just a horrible game from him. And it helped that, Zach Wilson did what he needed to do. Did have a turnover in there. Breece Hall was really good. 10 rushes for 127 yards, making his return. And then Garrett Wilson had one of the greatest catches I've seen in a while. I mean, just picks it out of the guy's hands with one arm. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say much about that game just because... first game of the season, Jets, weren't expecting to put Zach Wilson in, but I really think it comes down to Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I mean 3 interceptions, and they weren't, at least the ones I saw, threw one to double coverage.
Yeah,
they were in field goal range, just threw one into double coverage, picked off. I mean, that's why a lot of people had him for. It was, between him, Mahomes, Burrow for the MVP or Offensive Player of the Year, and that's why main reason I predicted Burrow, which doesn't look good so far.
Yeah.
But the turnovers killed him a lot last season,
and it's killing him again
so far. Yeah, not a good look to start.
Yeah, so, I mean, the kickoff return at the end, some people say they might have gotten away with a tripping call. I don't think it really would have mattered.
Yeah, they would have been in
field goal range anyways.
Yeah, field goal range anyways, which was a great
it was
electric
crazy.
ending to it. I'm glad to see the Jets win.
Yeah.
I don't really, I'm not a fan of either team, but, they were probably sad without, Rodgers. But hey, they got a divisional win.
So. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so that was pretty much all the big games that happened this week, and of course I want to hit on my Packers winning. We own the Bears as always, so
yeah, that is a Bears.
Just need to throw that out there, but yeah, so we can move on now. I got some hot takes for you. You're gonna basically say if it's a over prediction, an under prediction, or a correct prediction.
All right.
Okay, so my first one. I'm going to say that the Cowboys are maybe like a top 3 NFC contender to win the NFC completely.
So, you mean like to make the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that is a valid take. I mean, they were probably already going in one of the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys are like the main 3.
Yeah.
And but honestly, this week only helped their case. I mean, defense again, carrying them to it. But I mean, offense obviously, still, they have Dak now, which he was injured a lot recently. So I don't think that's totally valid. I could definitely see it being them, the Eagles fighting for that number 1 spot, and then 49ers.
Yeah.
In there definitely.
All right. So then my next one is Tyreek Hill is going to win Offensive Player of the Year, and I think he's going to break the receiving record.
What did he get last year?
I forget how many yards he got last year.
Because he was was he like on pace last year?
I think he was on pace to start it. I don't think so. I mean, last year, and let me see if I can figure this out.
He was like on pace like the whole season.
He got 1,700 last year.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, he's just, as you saw from this game, uncoverable. I think he's actually absolutely uncoverable. And I think he's going to do it this year.
I mean, yeah, I think that maybe, a little hot just from, he's not going to be putting up over 200 every game. Mm-hmm. And, Tua has to stay healthy. We saw, him get injured last year. But also, Offensive Player of the Year, I don't know what his odds were going into it, but yeah, if any receiver is going to win it, he probably would be up there for my favorite.
All right, so my next one is the Packers will be better than they were with Aaron Rodgers last year.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't watch much of this game. Obviously, it was kind of a beatdown, and they did just play the Bears, which you said they own the Bears, which is true. But, they beat the Bears. I don't know what they were against the Bears last year.
They won both games against the Bears.
So, that's kind of seems like a yearly thing, so I don't want to judge too much off of it. But I think they can be. I mean, last year they weren't great.
Yeah.
So I think they can be solid if, everything keeps going as planned.
I agree.
I think they will be better. I think they, it was time for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Love's been, learning, waiting for a while.
Yeah, so
you probably.
I think he's gonna be really
agree
good
with
this.
Do you agree with your hot take? I guess you made it.
Yeah, of course I'm agreeing with it. I think we're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But next I have the Seahawks will finish 3rd in the division.
That is a hot take. I mean,
the Cardinals I think are gonna get last easy, but I think the Rams are gonna do better than the Seahawks this year. After that game, Geno Smith was not it. He played really bad. And the Rams played really good. Their defense was good. Matt Stafford played pretty good. So I think they're going to finish 3rd in the division, which is crazy because some people had them, going pretty far, making it at least to the playoffs. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I mean, actually, I think that's a valid take. I mean, I think it'll be close with the Rams. I think Cardinals are last, but I think it'll be close with the Rams there. I think that it could go either way, but if we're just basing off what we saw, then yeah, they are gonna have to make some,
Alright.
changes.
Okay. My next one, the Dolphins are AFC East locks. Guaranteed to win the AFC East.
All right. Well, then that is just probably too hot for me. I mean, Bills and Jets are still
You saw the Bills struggle. The Jets are gonna struggle with Zach Wilson.
but they both played each other's defenses, which those are two really good defenses,
That's true.
which Dolphins will have to play 4 times.
It's true.
And I mean, yeah, I just Bills had some struggle last year, and they still
Yeah, they still make it work.
Jets, I mean, yeah, without Rodgers, it's obviously more interesting. I think I still have the Bills. I think I still have the Bills ahead of them.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, next, this is another AFC East one. The Jets will still make the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers.
That one.
It's gonna be close, I think.
Yeah, if I had to lean to a side, I'd probably say no.
Okay.
Just because AFC is still stacked this year, they're probably gonna have to try to. I don't see them winning that division. I think the Bills or the Dolphins should be above them. So yeah, as far as sneaking in for like a wild card or something, I think it'll be difficult. So yeah, I think they might just miss out on it.
All right, I could see that happening. Then my next one is going to be the Chiefs. I think they need to trade for another pass catcher if they want to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, okay. I mean, we saw what happened without receiver one, without Kelsey. But if they probably with Kelsey, obviously I'm saying they win that game. I mean, he's about sure of hands as anyone in the league.
I agree.
But yeah, I feel like they may. I think that may be a fact because if you have just one receiver that's like your whole team, it's hard. I mean, I guess they did it.
Yeah, but also last year they had people like Nicole, they had Juju.
I guess that's true. I mean, yeah, I guess none of them make like the huge difference, but you need someone to play behind, like you have like Waddle and Hill. You kind of need someone to play behind like your main guy that's always going to be getting targeted. And yeah, if they want to win the Super Bowl, I think there's some really good AFC teams this year. I think they should look. Now, who they could get, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
On like the free agents.
Yeah, it would have to be some team.
It'd have to be a trade. I don't really know if there's many like viable free agents.
Yeah, so they'd probably have to make a big trade for someone. I mean, if they could go out and maybe trade for like Mike Williams from the Chargers, I doubt the Chargers would want to give it away especially to a division rival.
Maybe Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I know the Jags aren't gonna want to trade him.
Maybe
but they just need, if they could get someone like somewhat big name, I think it would be huge for them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because we saw Hill and Kelsey.
Yeah.
It was just unbeatable. I mean, they're obviously not gonna get another Tyreek Hill, but someone even like almost as like half as good, almost as good, could make a big difference.
All right, so that's all my hot takes I got for this week. Just a couple things that I think could happen. We'll see. That's obviously week 1. Don't want to blow things out of proportion. But I guess we can now move on to our record predictions for this next week of football. And from this past week, I did go 11-5, and Vinny went 10-6. So obviously, I didn't win a lot last year. You were kind of destroying me when it came to record predictions, but
yeah, which ones? We had a few ones we disagreed on. Which ones?
Yeah, so some of our main ones, we disagreed on the Bucks and Jags, and I somehow was able to correctly predict the Buccaneers winning against the Vikings. Not Jags, sorry, Vikings.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. I mean, nobody expected Baker to just
he came out of nowhere.
He usually he does that. Like sometimes once a season, sometimes like every other season, he'll just have like a really good game.
He will
but
he shocked the Vikings, that's for sure. Yeah, and then some of our other games we disagreed on. Broncos and Raiders. You correctly predicted Raiders over Broncos. Chargers, Dolphins. You got Dolphins. Cowboys, we both said. And then the Bills and Jets. I was able to correctly predict the Jets. And Packers, which you predicted the Bears.
Usually I just disagree with the Packers. I mean, last year that was the main reason you lost.
Yeah. So
looking ahead at at this coming week, a lot of good matchups. First one we have here is the Vikings at Eagles.
And I think this one, especially after losing to the Buccaneers, we were both, I'm guessing, saying Eagles.
The Eagles. I mean, Vikings. Kirk Cousins didn't look great. He had many turnovers.
Yeah, he did.
Jefferson still got the ball, but
yeah, I mean, he only had one pick, 2 touchdowns, but just their offense just did not look.
The offense was slow. I mean, not much rushing, and defense let Baker Mayfield just dice them up.
Yeah.
So the Eagles can definitely do much more to them.
I agree.
So that's gotta be Eagles.
All right, then Ravens and Bengals. This one I think is gonna be probably the game of the week. I want to say, maybe not. There's probably some other ones, but I got the Ravens after what the Bengals did last week. I don't trust them.
Yeah, and I have the Bengals here. I mean, again, it was just week 1.
Yeah.
And, the Bengals are, the better team, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens defense, obviously, it's, better than the Browns defense. But, it was an off week for them.
Yeah, I could see that.
They, what's his name? Burrow, now he's back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Ravens did lose J.K. Dobbins. That could be a big loss
that
for
could
them.
be a big
so,
loss.
I think the Bengals are, going to turn things around.
All right. Next up, we got Seahawks at Lions. Now, this one, I think Seahawks might be able to dark horse pull it out, but I got the Lions going into this.
Yeah, I mean, after beating the Chiefs, they're probably they look good in that game. I mean, and the Seahawks look bad.
Yeah.
So Lions, continuing, probably gonna top that division.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Packers could give them a run.
Yeah.
For their money.
I hope so.
Yeah, waiting for I don't know when they Lions and Packers play.
I don't think it's for a little bit. So
that'll be good. That'll be a big division.
Yeah. All right. Then next up, Colts at Texans. Who do you got?
I mean, here I'm gonna go Colts. I mean, we did see. I didn't mention it, but Anthony Richardson.
He played really good.
He played great, but he did get injured. I think towards the end.
Oh.
I don't know if he. I know he's questionable for this game. I don't know if he ended up coming out for the rest of the game or not. But Anthony Richardson, like you said, looked great.
Yeah.
For the week for the Colts, and I think Texans, just not
Yeah.
kind of same old Texans. I didn't really see much of the Texans game this week, but obviously the Ravens are just a much better team, so they're obviously gonna dice them up. But,
All right, next up we got Bears at Buccaneers. This one, after how bad the Bears did and how good the Buccaneers did, I got Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, I got Buccaneers as well. I mean, for the second week predictions, a lot of it is just like the prior week's bias.
Yeah.
We don't have much to base it on.
That's
but I mean,
fair.
if we're basing on just like momentum, how people looked last week,
Yeah.
that's definitely looking better for the Bucks. Bears, people were high on them.
They were very high.
I was
knew that they
middle
were
of them.
bad.
I was middle of the pack on them. I mean, I don't really follow them too closely, but Bears are just kind of just the Bears.
Mm-hmm. All right, then next up we got Chiefs at Jags. This one I feel like could be a pretty good game depending on how the Jaguars play, but I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean this one we saw last year in the playoffs, and I believe it was a Jags. Didn't they bear it? I mean, I don't know if that game went to overtime or not, but it was like a really close game because I do remember watching it. But I want to see what the spread is on this.
Yeah,
because
it is definitely.
I mean, it was close. It was super close with the Lions. I mean, I guess a lot of it's gonna just depend on Kelsey.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where I could see the spread real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but
it's definitely a one score. I mean, Jaguars looked. Let's see. Jaguars
minus
yeah,
three.
-3. I mean,
So
if we're going off that, I'd take Jaguars +3.
Oh, you think?
I mean, maybe 3.5. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because I think it will definitely be a one-score game. The Jaguars are turning up. I mean, Ridley was turning
He
up.
did really good. I
And,
mean,
you know,
I bet he bet on that. So
He probably, I mean, you gotta bet on the betting man.
yeah, that's true.
And the Chiefs, I mean, we'll see how much. I don't know if Anthony or what's his name, Reed, has like said much on what's his name, Kadarius Toney. Like, you know, obviously,
Yeah,
he's still gonna play. I mean, they're not just gonna like give up on him, but
I think maybe it was just a bad week for
he
him.
cost them the game easily.
Yeah.
So they definitely need Kelsey. If Kelsey's out, I don't know.
It's
I
gonna
think
be
it'll still be close if Kelsey's out. I mean, I think it'll be a lot like last week. So it comes down to those like
just catching
other receivers.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we got Packers at Falcons. I got Packers. I'll always go Packers. So
I mean, I'll probably go Packers as well, just based on the prior week. And I mean, Falcons
the Falcons did
were
good
an
job.
interesting team. I mean,
They beat Bryce Young's rookie premiere game, but still their passing was really bad.
yeah, I mean,
Rushing was
like
really
yeah,
good though.
as we expected, running the ball a lot. I mean, Bijan Robinson.
He proved you wrong a little bit.
Yeah, so he did. What do you have? Like 20. He had like 20 fantasy points. I know at least he had a good touchdown.
Yeah, so
Really good touchdown. But I mean, also, I don't know if you can pull up the exact like touch spread, but Algier, he had 2 touchdowns. So he was getting, like I
looking
said,
at it, Algier actually had more carries than
Bijan had like 6 receptions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's definitely
so
more involved.
he definitely, that's what people thought coming in, but I guess he, kind of proved me wrong. It was a great all-around game for them, but Algier, who I have on my bench in one of my fantasy teams,
Yeah.
we're going to see him, and I mean, who else do they have?
Kyle Pitts did not that good.
Is Cordell Robertson?
Drake London had 0.
Or Cordell Patterson, is he still?
Yeah, he is. He just didn't get any touches.
Yeah, but that, Falcons, that's kind of their only runnings, like their only, like kind of threat. And, Packers probably, how's their run defense this year?
I
mean,
we
so
were pretty
far,
good against Justin Fields, who's a rushing quarterback, so.
Yeah, Ritter, I don't know, I guess somewhat mobile, but had -1 rushing yards this game. But yeah, definitely going to go Packers there. And then next game,
Raiders
it's going to be a tough one.
I got to go into the Bills.
Yeah.
It's in Buffalo. I can't see them losing this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just go Bills here too. I'm not like what am I trying to say? Just like delusional fan. I think the Bills are a better team.
Yeah.
But Raiders, they are leading AFC West.
Yeah.
So, could they, own that division, make the playoffs? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think they'll beat the Chiefs once this year.
Yeah, I
They
think
usually
so.
beat the Chiefs at least once. So,
Yeah.
but Bills, Josh Allen. But if Josh Allen's throwing picks,
Probably not.
yeah,
I
the
think the
Raiders have a
Raiders could-
chance.
yeah.
I don't think it'll be a blowout.
All right, next up, Chargers at Titans. I got the Chargers in this one. Titans did not look good, especially with Ryan Tannehill. So I think
Chargers.
I would argue Chargers by over 10.
Yeah, but I mean, we always think that Chargers are just impossible. Like, I'm never just gonna bet on the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're too unpredictable. They played well, obviously this game, but they always just seem to underperform.
Wow, the spread is only at -3 for this game.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of what was I gonna say? When I think of the Chargers, I think of that game last year with the Jaguars.
Oh, that game was. I mean, how do you choke that game?
Yeah,
That is.
What was it, like 28?
It was 27-0. I want to say.
Yeah, I turned it off and went to bed.
I turned it off too when
and woke up to some interesting news. I mean, I'm not really a fan of either team, but it was pretty crazy there. And then let's see, what do we have next? We have the 49ers at Rams. I mean, who do you have here?
I got the 49ers, especially after what they did to the Steelers. The Rams line, I don't think is very good. So I think the 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah.
They're going to easily win that division. I don't, see any reason for them to stop. I mean, Steelers defense, better, much better than the Rams.
Yeah, that's true.
We had some glimpses of hope, I feel like.
Yeah.
With our defense, TJ Watt, but we probably just got to not talk about the Steelers anymore.
Next up, we got Giants at Cardinals. Who do you got in this one?
I mean, it's tough to say because, Giants are obviously the better team.
Mm-hmm.
And, neither team, looked good.
Yeah.
But, obviously the Giants, we're playing the, Cowboys, who Cowboys, tend to own them.
Yeah, so
Giants, Giants should win here.
Yeah.
Unless, there's a fluke.
I got Giants as well.
I'd agree, Giants.
This one, if Rodgers was still here, would be a really good game. Jets at Cowboys. I got to go into the Cowboys, though. Although, I could see it being a lot closer, like a defensive matchup, than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I think it'll be... I think it'd be low scoring, high defense.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what we saw, I guess, this week with the Jets. But yeah, the Cowboys' defense just...
They were so good.
Like last year,
they were pretty good last year, and this year they were
that
really
game was
good.
just... Yeah, beat down. It was, almost a really tough week for New York, but the
Jets pulled it out. All right, the next up, Commanders at Broncos. This one I feel like will probably is one of the most unpredictable games. I got to go into the Broncos. Commanders didn't even look that good against the Cardinals. So
yeah, there wasn't much to say with either team. I personally just went Broncos just because it's at Mile High.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
neither of these teams, it's still tough to say. It is Russell Wilson. We could see him turn up a bit.
The Broncos just have to ride. But
yeah, we will see, but that'll probably just be probably kind of boring game.
Yeah.
Being straight up. And then up next we can talk about Dolphins at Patriots. I think, could be a big, obviously a huge divisional game to start the season for that. Who do you have?
I got Dolphins. They looked unstoppable. At least their offense did. Their defense didn't look unstoppable, but I got Dolphins in this.
Yeah, I think it'll be. They'll probably put up. I can see them putting up over 30. But
yeah, I could definitely see it.
What am I going to say? The Patriots, I think, could keep it kind of close.
Yeah,
I think it'll be high scoring. Mm-hmm. And Mac Jones, he threw for over 300 this week. So
yeah, I
think it'll be air heavy game. If you have Tyreek Hill, put him in your starting lineup.
Good things could happen. Next up, Saints at Panthers. Another game that I think could go either way. I got to go into the Saints, though, although I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers pull this one out.
Yeah, I put Saints here as well. This division's hard to... Yeah. They're all just kind of mediocre, but, I don't have much to say. Kamara, isn't back yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just going off, this prior week, probably say Saints.
Yeah.
Saints is the safer pick.
And for the last game, Monday Night Football, Browns at Steelers. I'm putting Steelers for this one, just because I honestly think they're going to win. But I could see it going either way again. So,
who did I put? Yeah, I put Steelers here, obviously, just because we're fans. Spread-wise, I'm trying to see what...
Browns are favorites. 4.5-point favorites. Or is that last time?
I think... No, this is this year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah.
4.5. Yeah, Browns. They
did just beat the Bengals. So maybe I will say Browns.
Yeah, but the Browns, defense obviously look great, but they're nowhere near.
It's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's at Pittsburgh. They're nowhere near the 49ers defense.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to Kenny Pickett.
I agree.
But yeah, if we have another one of those 1 yard games.
Oh, that's just.
I'm probably just giving up for the season.
Yeah. So we only have one disagreement on picks this week, so maybe it'll go the way that we think. You need to win that to tie up the record. So
that's true. None.
I just don't think. I can't see, at least after week one, I can't see any of these games going the other way. So
yeah, closest games are. I mean, Saints and Panthers, Browns and Steelers.
Chiefs at Jags.
Yeah, but
There could be some good games.
other than that, yeah. Obviously, you know, we probably won't. I don't know what our record was last year of like best.
Yeah.
I know we had some like
We had some like 2 last week.
like 2 lot, yeah, but
Yeah.
kind of average to start out this year.
But yeah, so that's all we got for this week, guys. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Still going with that. Rate 5 stars on wherever you guys get your podcast. It really helps us out a lot. Give us likes, shares.
Tell your
Anything
friends.
else?
You know, we got maybe leave some suggestions in the comments. We're
definitely.
trying to spruce things up this year. Different segments. I think guess the stats. Probably bring that back.
Yeah,
Just
I
in a
definitely
way,
think
but,
so.
Yeah, just give us your thoughts.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
All right, cool. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.